Live from Nasdaq's market site, I'm your host, Christina Ayanian. And joining me today is CEO of Worksport, Stephen Rossi. Stephen, thank you for joining us and great to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again, Christina.
Now, as CEO, talk to me about Worksport and the work that you do.
Well, Worksport is involved in automotive on one side of our business, and as a second side of our business, where they kind of correlate in a neat way, we're involved in power electronics and mobile energy for off-grid use. So we started as a tonneau cover company for pickup trucks, evolved to conceptualizing a solar tonneau cover. We had to think, how do we store the energy from a solar tonneau cover? Back in 2015, EV trucks weren't around. We were kind of crazy about thinking about that. So we created a battery system, and here we are today, kind of in this hybrid automotive and consumer electronics.
That's amazing. You have a unique blend of innovation, quality, and sustainability all in one.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Let's talk about that innovation piece. What kind of IP patents and protection is involved in protecting that innovation?
We have an IP portfolio that's probably a bit over 100 trademarks and patents. We have intellectual property that protects us in the East, so most of Asia, Australia, New Zealand, European Union, now England separately, Latin America, Canada, USA. So there's a bunch of different IP that we have relating to utility patents that are kind of like the recipe to how to make our products, and that protects anyone from doing it the same way we do it. Then we have design patents, so how it looks, and then we have trademarks like the Worksport name, our core, our Solus, all of our kind of cool names that we're going to go to market on. So it's critical to invent, but it's also critical to be able to monetize that invention with intellectual property that protects it.
Now, you really set a new standard for eco-consciousness, especially in this space. What inspired that? Why is that important to you?
You know, I've always been kind of saying that I feel that an F-150, the most driven vehicle or pickup truck on American roads, has its tailpipe, combustion engine turns gas into carbon emissions, and I feel that with the onset or mass adaptation of EVs, I feel that we've deferred the emissions from the tailpipe to the smokestack. I feel that you plug in your vehicle, it's an electric vehicle, and you think you've done your part. And that's not necessarily so. In America especially, there's a lot of natural gas power plants, coal power plants, and these kinds of things. So with our solar tonneau cover, as obscure as it is, pickup truck tonneau cover, it's one of the only accessories that I can think of, I've ever seen, that will actually recharge a vehicle for 30% of the power it needs on Monday to Friday driving, entirely on the sun. So it's the first step towards actually decarbonizing. And the last thing I'll say is, I think for every 100,000 solar tonneau covers we sell that'll recharge electric trucks is the equivalent of reducing, I think, 15,000 cars off of the road in terms of carbon emissions. So it's a real carbon emissions elimination.
That's amazing. It's a very forward-thinking approach. Mm-hmm. Who are some of your customers?
So we have, well, what's interesting is we have a lot of demand and we don't have an active sales department. So that's really good when there's such an inbound demand. It's kind of like if you build it, they will come. We've had interest from almost every major Detroit-based automaker, so like the big three type businesses. We've had interest from EV startups that are kind of buzzing these days in the markets with their EVs, especially they all make EV trucks or are coming out with them. And the only named partnership that we can say right now, and the rest of everyone will have to kind of stay tuned for, is Hyundai. So Hyundai is conceptualizing an electric vehicle truck, like a mid-sized to small-sized truck, and we're partnering with them to kind of try to figure out how we could maximize the amount of solar charge it can get. And we're getting, like I said, 30% of that plug-in power it needs Monday to Friday is coming from presumably our cover.
That's amazing. Now, it's safe to say you've experienced tremendous growth, especially since your IPO on Nasdaq in 2021, August of 2021. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that growth and your new plant.
So we did open a plant in Western New York. And we've had a lot of success. So uplisting was fantastic. We enjoyed a really fantastic market. And we've kind of haven't looked back and looked forward. So we built a new plant at a new product at a new plant for a new customer in all under 1 year. And what's got us there is kind of prudence, nose to the grindstone approach. Everyone's doing a lot of heavy lifting, but also learning to sip before we gulp. So what that means is we still maintain very lean operations, and we're all kind of spreading ourselves as far and wide as we can so that we can grow while maintaining healthy cash balances, being able to keep really good costs for our customers so we can offer a fantastic price. And that'll create that splash in the marketplace when we start selling our Made in America tonneau covers and our Made in America power electronic systems.
That's amazing. Very resourceful.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to be.
Now, what does the next year look like?
The next year is we're going to start making tonneau covers out of our plant near Buffalo, New York. We're going to launch our Made in America core battery system. We're going to launch our solar tonneau cover as well. And then as we look forward, we're going to continue to innovate or release to investors and those people that are watching our company the next leg of innovations. Of course, you know that we're like mad scientists. We're always thinking about what's next. So we have some really, really great things that we're going to be looking at launching a little bit past that. That all blends into an ecosystem of automotive, off-grid, go anywhere, do anything.
That's amazing. Well, we wish you much continued success and look forward to continue following your journey. And we greatly appreciate the partnership. Thank you so much, Steven.
Thanks for having me.